to have Roy from Recipes with Roy come join us in the chat. So I'm not sure why I came on early, but I've had a long day, just like fried. So, but Roy will be joining us.
Apparently, so did my waistline.
Oh, let's get in there. Okay, I should start making thumbnails for these. I feel like, but so just come on in, sit right down. Roy will be here in a minute. So will everybody else. I'm here early. So let's just talk about what this is. This is when I'm going to invite some of my peeps to come join us. So I think I'm in talks with Nikki from, hey, Esther, what part of the world are you at now? I'm on a little bit early. I'm not sure why I came on this early, but But Roy will be joining us in about 5 minutes. Good evening. Welcome. I think we might, because Nikki mentioned something in her Instagram about coming on. So maybe we'll be able to work it out. I don't know. It won't be this week because have got vacation this week, so I will not be around at the end of the week. Oh, I'm so excited too. He'll be here in a short while. Hopefully, he'll be able to, you know, he'll be able to do it. I don't see why he couldn't. Roy's pretty crafty. Of course, I'm the one that's challenged. But Roy will be joining us momentarily. I'm just making sure he didn't respond back. So, leaving Cyprus tomorrow. Hello. Hello, Ellie. Roy will be here in a few minutes. I hope this is a little bit, it's technically challenging because I don't think they've worked all the bugs out of this yet. So, but he will be here in about a few minutes. So make yourselves at home. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to go through the gamut of everybody eventually. Okay, here he comes. I'm going to add him. Let's see if it works. Oh,
Here I am.
there he is.
Live. Wow, I can't even see us because all the writing is on top of us.
I know. See, I have us like this, but they see us like this.
Right.
So it's kind of like, oh my God, you do. And see now, but yet if I looked at my screen here, which I have, I would have noticed that.
Right. Yeah, I was just like trying. Oh, there we are. Okay, I was trying to get that situated. All right, now I'm all set.
Yay, it worked.
I know it's about time. Wendy and I have been trying to figure out for a while how to do this with all these other different contraptions. And it was like so complicated, or you needed some sort of special program or something. I was like,
I know.
I can't.
I think the biggest thing is it's so much easier just on the phone.
Right.
Because I thought you could do it on the computer. It says no, only mobile. I'm like,
right.
I think if you do it on the computer, you need a streaming service.
Yeah, and that's what we were going to try to do, just because it seemed it would be easier, but very complicated.
So everybody's here. Everybody's saying hi to Roy. Yay!
Hello, everybody. I'm changing my glasses because I realized I need my closer up glasses so I can actually see what's happening.
Oh, I know. I have my readers on.
Because my bifocals really don't work for this kind of close-up thing.
See, my problem is cataracts.
Oh, well, I've been told that I have them building, but he doesn't want to do anything about them yet. So
they make you go blind first.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
Yep.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, everybody's saying hi to Roy. Roy. Hello. Roy, do you live in PA?
I live in Massachusetts.
Roy's jokes and humors make my day.
Well, that is very nice. Paul would not probably say the same, but that's because he's usually the target of it.
Awesome, Ellie. Ellie says it seems to be working perfectly. Well, we'll see. You know me.
Yeah.
We were on a roll with Kim, and then all of a sudden, it just all went.
Yeah, I know. It was like when she froze up, I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Oh, it's cold. Is it cold in Massachusetts?
I think it was about 60 the last time I checked. So I went to the store and I was out in a t-shirt. So that's comfortable weather to me.
Well, it was cold here. Hence, I have long sleeves. It didn't make it over 60 which I'm happy with though.
Yeah, see, I can't, like, I wear short sleeves all the time. I don't like anything too heavy. If I have a sweatshirt on, it has to be one with a zipper because I need it open.
See, I didn't start getting like this until I lost weight, and I was always hot. Now I'm always cold.
Oh, I'm always hot. Paul and I are very different. If I'm hot, he's comfortable, and if I'm comfortable, he's cold. So you can't make both of us happy.
How much weight have you lost, Roy?
Altogether, it was like 128 point something. I have, as I've mentioned in my chats, gone up a little bit, but I am working on getting that back down. And I've said this is the first time where I've gained back. Like usually what I would do is, okay, I've reached where I'm going. I can go back to what I was doing, and that's not really going to work. And I saw that Pat had said something about I don't have a Massachusetts accent. That's because I actually grew up in Connecticut. I only moved here because of Paul.
There you go.
So
Found-
now you know.
You have wonderful recipes.
Yeah, well, that's a nice to hear. Yes, I am still working on trying to convert all of the recipes so I can do the cookbook because I've had a lot of people asking about when is it coming out, and it's a process trying to convert all of these things into the correct format.
Right. And you take like retaking photos too?
Well, what I've been doing, and I will admit this in the cookbook as well, is I'm taking the pictures I have of the food and I am making them more food photography style with the AI program so that it looks a little better, but it is from my pictures. You know, you have to have a little glamour shot. I knew you would understand, Dee.
I would, of course. So glad to be here. Hi, everyone. My doctor says the reason I'm cold is because I lost so much of my insulation. I have a lot more to go.
Yeah, I could see that. I still run warm, so I don't know what my excuse is.
You're
Thank you, Sharon. I love those cornmeal pancakes. Those were so good.
I love anything cornmeal. Can't wait for
And they're not gritty, which a lot of times when you're cooking with cornmeal, that can happen. But because I microwave them, it softens them up, so that doesn't happen. You don't get that grittiness.
Chris got to gold.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Awesome.
Actually, I just realized I should probably share my channel for those who.
Hopefully you could be able to let me know if you can't do it. I could have my
It looks like I couldn't. It just came up as
wench. Could
a
you
comment.
channel, please? I think I saw her in here. I think I saw Nora here. I call her wench, like wrench. I do my menopause. I agree, Ellie. Roy doesn't get that, but that's okay.
No. Thank you, Nora.
Yeah, we thought it'd be fun.
I know I was thinking it's weird because like I've talked to Joan on the phone, I've talked to Sandy, but you and I have never actually talked except through chat or Instagram or what have you.
True. I didn't think about that. You just said that. Hello, hello.
You know, we got a lot of people hopping
102.
around.
If you have a question and I missed it, please put it back because sometimes the chat goes a little bit too fast. And the old
Thank you,
chat
Catherine.
don't catch it.
Yeah, I know. It's like between looking at this and seeing all of the it's very confusing at times.
Oh, Barbara loves your truck chat.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do them monthly just because, you know, people do say they like them and it will take a little stress off of trying to come up with, I don't know how you do like almost daily talks because I'm like, I have nothing to say. Granted, I usually don't get out of the house much either. So
I know but people, I find people love just hearing about your day.
yeah.
they just they're your friends, and it's like you and I just that's how I do it. Like I'm talking to my friend. Well, I'm gonna go do here. I'm gonna do that, and they just love it.
Right.
And you're so inspirational. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Renee. Renee loves us.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
Sandy, oh, Esther has met Sandy and me. There, Nora just posted your link. I will pin it.
Thank you.
Pin message. There we go. And it's pinned to the top. You haven't checked out Roy. Roy, what plan do you do?
I'm on the Better Balance plan of healthy, which is basically the blue plan. So that's the one that seemed to work the best for me. Hey, Kim is here.
And that,
Hopefully, we're not going to have any glitches because Kim showed up.
oh, that witchiness. How
Yeah.
you feeling, Kim? How's the leg today? Truck chats are like these ramblings. Found Roy through my channel. Well, I remember Roy's just come as a token, and we finally said he needs to have his own channel. That's when he was
Yeah.
Hadley.
Yeah. And actually, like I was writing up the introduction to the cookbook, and I actually mentioned how the whole thing came about and how, like, my friend Bree kept pushing me because I kept giving her recipes, trying to get her to do them. She goes, "Why don't you just do them yourself?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then we started talking, and we came up with the name, and the rest is history.
All right. Question for both of us. Favorite Thanksgiving dish from your channel?
Um, I really liked the stuffing that I did. Um, and it was using keto buns, which may or may not be easy to come by. Sometimes they're very like catch them when you can. But you can use any like low bite, low point bread with it. But I really like that one. And my gravy is super simple. So easy is the way I like to go.
Oh, absolutely. I would say mine would be my 0 point cranberry sauce. If I do
Oh yeah. I
favorite.
love cranberry, anything cranberry.
Yep. In each of your cookbooks, indeed, you should each feature one of the other's favorite recipe.
Now, do you mean favorite recipes from that person? Like,
I
Dee
guess
would pick one of mine and I would pick one of hers, or
probably. How is Brie? Haven't Is she still posting?
she just started back again. She just recently got engaged,
Oh, nice.
and she's been having a lot of health issues. Like, they were trying to figure out what was going on with her. So she's been dealing with a lot of other things, and doing YouTube was just too much. But she's done 2 videos in the past week or so. So
Awesome.
she is slowly trying to do more.
YouTube's hard. I don't think. I mean, again, we make it look easy, but it's a lot of work. It's consuming. It's just like you film it. You have to film. You have to edit. You have to upload. You have to come up with a thumbnail, and
Right.
a lot involved.
Right. That's why I ended up going to 1 video a week, because I was trying to do 2 recipes a week,
Yeah.
and it was just like overwhelming.
Sandy's in
So,
the house. Miss Sandy.
Sandy, there
Yeah,
she is.
Sandy's here. Mommy's here. Behave.
Oh, Esther's going to sleep.
Good night, Esther.
Good night.
Choosing not to do a cookbook right now. I am choosing to wait right now. Arnold's is pretty common brand. They have keto buns.
Oh,
Really
that's good.
see a lot of keto at Aldi too.
Yeah, the ones I used to get were at Walmart, but it's like so random that you could find things there. At least the one that I go to. It's like you'd go, they were totally out. Other times they'd be overloaded. So,
Ellen, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Like I said, if you have a comment, try to put it in capital letters or a question. And if I miss it, which is highly likely, you just put it up again, copy and paste it.
yeah,
Oh,
because it is a lot going on here.
yeah. Well, it's funny because that's the thing. Like I'm talking and reading the next comment at the same time most times.
Yeah, I know. And plus, I'm like looking over here where things are like real time, and over here they're not. So it's like a little lag.
If you ever like look on your laptop, you don't have live chat. I'm like, oh, I am behind.
Yeah.
I do like.
Actually, I have not tried that cream of wheat banana bread yet.
Oh, it's good. It's
I definitely have to try that.
it's different. It's one of the something different for breakfast. I've been enjoying the grits loaf with cracked out egg salad on top.
Oh, that
For
sounds interesting.
breakfast, and with cracked out, you just put bacon and ranch seasoning in there.
Right.
We are praying for Israel. Yes, we are. Thank you,
Yes,
Marie.
for sure.
What are you cooking lately, Roy?
Actually, I've done some experimenting this weekend, and I have for a fall flavors collab coming up next week. I was working on a pumpkin bread coffee cake.
Ooh.
And then I think some of you may have seen, I posted on Facebook like the tiramisu oatmeal, baked oatmeal in a cup.
Mhm.
So I was working on perfecting that. I got that one done and then thought, well, maybe I should try a bigger one in the oven that you could do as more servings. So I did that today and that came out really well. So those are the things that I've been working on right now.
How did you choose healthy, Roy?
Well, there was a lot going on with WW back in the day when they were having problems with all sort of ambassadors who were not exactly racially sensitive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So there were just so many issues. I was just like, I'm not going to keep giving my money. And Healthy was so much cheaper. It was like the same amount as 1 month on WW. So, and they had the same basic plan. So I didn't really have much of a, problem transitioning.
I don't think I knew you were on Weight Watchers, honestly. I think as long as I remember, I always remembered healthy, better balance.
Yeah, well, for the most part, I mean, because as long as I've had the channel, I believe I've always been on Healthy. But
Right.
before that, I was doing, and I was actually, it was weird because I'm looking through all of my recipes, getting them ready. And some of the older ones, they only had like the bites and points. They didn't have calories. They didn't have the macros that people started asking for later. So now I'm having to go in and look that recipe up in my app again and be like, okay, what is all that information?
And that's what's great about the healthy app. It just
Yeah,
does it. And you don't
yeah,
even like, and that's why I seem to be drawn to it because it does more. If I
right,
want to know the calories, it's there if I choose to. I don't have to
right,
go and figure it out.
right.
So I've been doing. I just started Sugar Smart. I was Better Balance, and I was challenged to do Sugar Smart.
Yeah, well, I was thinking maybe I should change it up just to, give myself something to focus on.
Hmm.
And then I'm like, but I'm so used to doing what I was doing, and that's usually what I give. I don't
Right.
want to change things up.
Right. I mean, the points, basic points should stay the same. It's the same algorithm. The only
Right.
0 point foods collide. Roy is doing Better Balance on the healthy plan. He changed
Yeah.
from to their politics. Just
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah. And it's funny, they go through these ruts every now and then where suddenly everyone's abandoning them for something or other.
And then they're popular again.
Yeah.
I can't keep up
So,
with it. Yeah, I remember back when they were having they were partnering with a nut butter company. I can't remember what the nut
yeah.
butter was. Is that
Yeah.
the
Yeah, that one. And they had somebody who had a YouTube channel. I forget what her name. It was a woman and her boyfriend, young couple, and they had put out some things that were very problematic. So there was just a whole lot going on at that time. And
they say you are who you associate with.
right, right. And it's like, even if you don't, I think the biggest problem for most people at that time was not just that they were associated with them, but that once this all came out, they didn't say anything. They didn't denounce them. They didn't, they just let it go.
Yep.
And I think that was the biggest problem for a lot of people.
Sandy is still in school. He's not at a parish yet, only at the summer when he works at one, but he's still in school. He won't be at a parish till next year.
Oh, there's Judy. I was
Yeah,
wondering if she was
Judy
going to be showing
finally
up.
finally shows up, Miss Judy. I don't know.
Eileen, my why was basically in my first video, I talked about what I was doing, and because of my neuropathy and myopathy, I was having a lot of pains and difficulty moving, and the extra weight, because at one point I was 307 pounds, and the extra weight was just making my muscles work even harder to try to move. Trying to get up from a chair, things like that were very difficult. So that was my why of like, okay, I've got to do this. And I did start by planning on going to get gastric bypass. And they have you here, at least, they have you go through like 8 weeks of classes. And you have to start eating the way you're going to have to eat later. And just by doing that, I ended up losing too much weight to get the surgery, which was for the better, I think, in the long run. But
All right, Nita said, "What are your top 3 tips advice for weight loss?"
hmm. Well, for me, my biggest thing, and part of the reason I started coming up with recipes was because I couldn't deal with doing like little portions of this, little portions of that. I needed something that was going to sustain me, and otherwise, I was going to not stick to it. So I started doing things, finding ways to reduce the bites and points and have a substantial enough meal that I was going to be satisfied. Otherwise, I wouldn't have lasted. So that's probably my big one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Me too.
I also would let myself have like a day, like typically my weigh in was Saturday.
Hmm.
And I would then have that day to, if I wanted to splurge a little bit, that's what I would do. My biggest thing was if I did ever splurge or overindulge, I didn't let it guilt me, because once I did that, I'd start doing that spiral where I'd be like, oh, well, what the heck? I might as well just give up.
Hmm.
So I think just knowing you're going to do it, you're human, it's going to happen. Just accept it. And then if it happens, just go the next hour, minute, next day,
Hmm.
start over. It's like, I
Yeah.
think that was the biggest thing, was not letting myself beat myself up about it.
Yes. I think it's about being consistent and knowing
Yeah.
who you are, like not trying to be somebody I wasn't.
Right.
You have to be yourself and find
Right.
ways to tweak it. And
Right.
still, my goal was never to be thin. Like I was never going to be a stick
Right.
figure. And maybe and that and skinny isn't always healthy. I just wanted that was
Right.
my health, and I am healthy. I might not be, somebody be like, "Well, you're really not skinny." Well, of course I'm not skinny. I didn't want to be, but
Yeah.
that's what people associate.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I noticed in my first videos, like looking back at some of them, I let myself get a little too thin, like the vein, like
yeah.
there were, I mean, this was very prominent, the little lines in my neck. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to go that far down again. But it was good to get down that far and to realize I don't have to be that low. Just
Mm-hmm.
because they say that's a good number for me doesn't mean it is.
Big one. Yep. I've been doing Sugar Smart just within the last week. Roy, I'm missing your friend Jennifer and her husband Charlie.
Yeah, they've been, she went back to work, so she's been very overwhelmed with trying to do her work. She's also got her grandkids now that she's spending a lot of time with. I don't know if she will get back into doing videos or not, but I do talk to her on occasion and see her. She just had the kids this weekend. She loves to
Yeah,
share pictures of them. They're so cute.
they are.
But I mean, grandkids can be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Not
but
always,
a
but
lot
they
of time
can be.
consuming too.
Oh yeah,
Yep. It's taken me a long
sure.
time to get into my head. I'm 67 and never going to be 125, and it's okay. I'm okay with eating healthy and getting to a healthy weight is okay.
Yep,
Hashtag
exactly.
yes. Yep. And it's something that you learn over time
Yeah,
because let's face it, some of us have never been this weight. I can
right,
start I was never at a good weight my whole adolescence. And
right,
you kind of do want to get there. It's like because you've never done it.
right,
And once you do it, you realize, you know what, you're always living looking because you can't eat that because you can't maintain that.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, when I was living in New York, I came home one time and my mother was like very worried about me because I had actually gotten down to 160 pounds, which for someone who's 6'2" is not exactly ideal. So, but I was so obsessed about trying to be this image, and somebody who would attract people or, what have you. I mean, in hindsight, it's like, yeah, you were young, that's the kind of thing you do. But if I'd known then what I know now, would have been very different.
Oh, well,
Yes, Judy, I am a tall.
he's a dull one. Uh, uh, Ellie, Sugar Smart is on healthy. It is the old green plan on Weight Watchers. Sometimes the food planning is overwhelming and so time consuming.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one problem that, like, I don't food plan.
Me either.
Like, usually Paul will be like, what's for dinner? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, well.
And I'll go and whatever's in the kitchen, I'll figure something out.
Yep.
So that's the way I've always been. I can't understand people who can like plan out their meals for the week or even the month. And I mean, I might have an idea. Okay, I want to make this at some point this week,
Right.
but when I do, who knows?
I just like I said, try to keep well stocked pantry and freezer so what you can pull from and what
Right,
you really feel like. Well, I have a zucchini and I have pasta. Let's make a primavera.
right,
That's really good. Yeah.
right. And I'd even mentioned that I thought it would be kind of fun if I one time did even if it was a live or something where I just opened up the fridge, saw what I had, and made something so people could see, just
Yes.
throw together what you have. But
Oh
then I'm
yeah.
like, well, how do you really know that I didn't plan on having those things in there? So it's kind of like, but that's typically what I do. I just
I'll have to come
look
knock.
in the fridge.
Roy, here's a bag of food. What could you create with this?
Yeah, that would work. Kind of like chopped.
Yeah. Yeah. Or was it
Here's your basket.
door knocker dinners or something? Wasn't that a show many years ago where they would come
Yeah,
up with food and you had to create it?
yeah. Jay Bates, I do eat dessert every day. And usually, like I'll have to make one, especially when I'm testing. I try not to test too many at a time, so we don't have too much around. But I always do have it. Sometimes I'll even have it twice in a day. I'll have a snack and as a dessert. So
I think the more you allow yourself to have dessert, the more you don't desire it.
right,
It's like it
right,
doesn't become this special thing like, oh, yeah. You just like
right.
get on it. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
So,
because it's like you're used to it. It's just part of your daily routine. But and that's one of the things about those old strict diets
mhm.
was, you're eating chicken breast and broccoli all day. And then it's like, oh, I want something else so bad that you just go, okay, off the rails. And
Yeah.
then you're beating yourself up about it. And
Yep. If we could just learn, I always say controlled discipline. I can have it in controlled small amounts. Can we
right,
do I think if you practice it eventually, it's hard in the beginning like anything else. We're used to just eating what we want when we want.
right,
We have to learn that we're gonna have it. It's just maybe not today, maybe tomorrow.
right. Yeah, and that's why, like, I try to make my things low bite, low point because I need a portion that's going to satisfy me, especially for dessert, because I don't want like, oh, just one piece of chocolate would be perfect.
Yeah.
That's never been me, and I know that, and I'm not expecting myself to think any differently.
Yep, I agree. But just mix these chocolate cake recipe while listening in the oven and put lilies and mint chocolate chips on the top and melt like icing. Ooh,
Oh, that sounds good.
your apple cheesecake is so good.
Is that my apple cheesecake?
Yeah, your apple cheesecake.
That was good. I actually haven't made that in a while. Now that fall's here, I do have. Um, I came up because I've been playing with those magic pies lately,
Mm-hmm.
and so I came up with one that I'm going to be doing for a collab in November. That's a caramel apple magic pie,
Mm-hmm.
and that was so good.
It's always fun to test out those recipes. It's like, oh,
Oh yeah,
it all
I
comes
mean,
together.
yeah, because I've done a few where I've had to do it like 3 or 4 times, but usually one or two usually does it. Especially now that I've gotten more used to. Okay, this will work with this. This will work with that. So it's gotten a little easier,
I'm
but
with
I
you.
have thrown things away because it just was
Well, it's
that
funny.
bad.
I've given my secret away. So I'm going to tell you something. A lot of my things are pretty much the same. I just tweak this or that. And
Right,
you think it's a totally different recipe, but it isn't.
right. Yeah.
It just has the same base. You keep, yeah, mine's not freezing, Brenda. It must be you. Roy, when will your cookbook be out?
um, I need to convert all of the dessert recipes now. I've been slowly working on it. I can only, because I can't sit at a computer for too long, I have to do it piecemeal. So I try to do like a couple of them every day. So I still have a few that need to be converted. And then I'm trying not to think, oh, I should add this new one in or this new one in, because then it's like you're never going to get it out there. So,
Jay Basil volunteers to be your taster.
okay, that's fine. Because sometimes Paul's like, he wants like a little port. He's not like me. He wants a little bit of something. He goes, your portions are too big. And I'm like, they're not too big. And the the pumpkin bread coffee cake that I made, I do it as serving 12. It's in a 9 by 13 pan. And but they were too big for him. But I was like, okay, if I did it as 16, still the same number of bites and points. So I'm going for the bigger portion.
Will the recipes be in calories and macros too?
Yeah, I'll do it just like I do in the on the blog and on the channel. I'm not going to do every single like macro nutrient, but I'm going to do the ones I do on the channel, like the fat, saturated fat, protein, carbs, fiber, and sugar.
Suzanne goes, "What? Too big?" I know. Obviously, he doesn't. He doesn't need to lose weight, does he?
No.
Those ones without the weight issue. What a treat to have us both on live chat. Good, bigger
That
portion.
is true. Like I said, we've never actually talked.
Right, and until you said that, I really never thought about that.
Yeah. Because we've talked so much online, it's almost like we have.
And plus, I know the way your voice sounds from your videos. So does
Right.
it
Right. Same.
hear
Right.
some voice? It's like, oh, I didn't think you were going to sound like that. I'm used to the way you sound, so it doesn't like go shock.
Right.
Oh, caramel apple sounds delicious.
Yeah. It was really good. And that one I got in the first try. But I am going to try because I'm using the Walden Farms caramel. If you
Mm.
use like the Smucker's sugar free, it's going to be a little more in bites and points. But I found different recipes for that you can make your own caramel with sweeteners.
Oh,
I'm going to try it because that way I can show making a caramel sauce and use that in the pie. So I'm experimenting with that next.
that'd be very cool. We hope we do it again. I have to go through the gamut of everybody. I know, but I
Yeah.
definitely, I think it's fun.
Yeah. Because it's like, you know, typically we're just watching each other and not interacting at
Right.
all. So,
And it gives them something different.
right.
Caramel plus apples equals delicious. Yes, it
That
does.
is true.
You have a question for Roy? Please put it in caps so I could see it. If I missed your question, again, I apologize. Cataracts here. Old lady. Old lady
Yeah,
problem.
and a lot going on. So
When is the fall collab coming out?
it's actually coming out next Sunday at 9 o'clock. So that's when the pumpkin bread coffee cake will be out.
See, somebody said we all get together like the Hollywood Squares
Or the Brady Bunch. That would be interesting.
with Sandy in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll be our Alice.
Should be the middle square. What is magic pie?
Magic pie is where you're not making a crust. What you do is you put your, like the chicken Parmesan pie I just did, you put the chicken into the pie plate, and then you mix up this magic crust, pour it over the top, and it kind of seeps down and forms basically a crust. It holds everything together. So it's kind of like a magic pie because you don't have to make a crust, which can eat up a lot of bites, points, and calories.
All right, here's the famous question you get asked all the time. Why have we never met Paul?
Actually, he did show up in what I think my second live. He happened to come home while I was doing it and actually did pop his head in. So if you check back, I've only done like 3 lives, so it won't be hard to find. But he did surprise me by actually making an appearance.
Is it 9 Eastern time, Roy, for the collab?
Yes, 9 Eastern time. So that's, I guess, 6 Pacific. The fall collab recipes, I'll have my video up. And then in the description box, there'll be links to the other people who are doing the collab with me.
How is Sandy? I have not seen any of her videos. She's been putting out videos, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Sounds
Yeah.
like
She even commented that she was shocked that she saw Paul that day.
yeah, just said I remember seeing him. I was shocked.
Yes, that is kind of like the Bisquick and Possible Pies. It's basically the same premise, just not using Bisquick. I use flour and make my own baking mix.
Janet needs some dairy-free options.
Oh, no.
Marie.
Well, I mean, I definitely use a lot of almond milk. I don't typically use regular milk for anything anymore. Hi, Marine. So typically, I don't use any. The problem would probably be like if there's anything using the Greek yogurt or anything like that.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I have enough challenges with what I can and can't eat that
I
I
know.
can't add anything more to it.
Yes, you need to make Roy's cream cheese. It's delicious.
Randy, it's very easy. All you have to do is throw a little salt into the mix. You can even add herbs or whatnot if you want something herby. Throw it in a strainer with some coffee filters, let it drain for a couple of days, and that's it. So
Yeah,
it's really easy.
and it's really good. Like you won't be thinking like, "Oh, I'm eating fake stuff." It's
Right,
made with milk.
right,
It's it's when people say, "Oh, that's not real." It is. It's made with milk. It's how you make. It's just a
right.
different.
Because it's not like that rubbery square of cream cheese that you'd get if you were getting the fat free at the store. Because that stuff is like seems like plastic.
Yes. There's Laura just shared Sandy's channel. Did you know what I want to make now? I've been seeing everything for cornbread mochi on TikTok.
Oh, really? I
I
mean,
love
I love cornbread. That sounds interesting.
kind of like little like you've seen how mochi is that
Yeah.
consistency really good. I'm like I said, I can make that because they use rice flour and there's butter in it. So I'm curious if you could somehow either lower the butter, I don't know,
Oh, probably. I would think so.
or how
I,
much
the
just
one thing is trying to get the texture to match because sometimes when you replace, especially something like butter, that can mess with the texture. So
Almond milk, Roy. She's now. I mean, on some things you could use almond milk, but some things you can't.
Yeah. And also, depending on what it is, sometimes you have to reduce the amount of almond milk a little because it is a little more watery than milk. So you sometimes have to drop the almond milk percent down a little bit.
Like I know when you make pudding with almond milk, you have to use less almond milk, but it will.
Right.
But you just have to
Right.
use, or yeah, less of the
Yeah,
almond milk.
right.
Carnivore dog sitter Becky. She's asking about how Kim is. I think she's doing. She did say. I believe she said she's doing okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if she's still here, but
She might.
um,
Kim.
I know she did have a lot of pain because I checked in on her one day and she was like, "Oh my God, it was horrible." And then it was a little better after that. So yeah, sometimes you have to go through that pain to get to the other side. So
Roy, do you exercise daily?
I have never exercised. I lost weight not exercising. I physically can't really exercise that much, although Paul says that my body is exercising itself because my muscles are always like moving and spasming and things like that. So he goes, "That's how you're getting your exercise."
True. It's movement.
But yeah, no, I've never exercised. I don't do it now. I did try to do some of those like uh what Laurie Sansone, is that her name? I did some of hers for a while, but it's a big challenge for me to try to keep up with the movements and, not fall over.
Oh, Audrey had to make an authentic stolen. Ooh. I un. Hmm. Kim is still here. They're sharing channels. We have Sandy's channel. We have Carnivore Dog Sitter Becky's channel. Becky eats meat. Yep. We have Marine's channel. We have Sandy's channel. Who else did I? We have Roy's pinned up at the top. Did I miss anybody else that's here? Just yell at me if I did. Come to Glam Squad. Roy, come to a room full of women. Come on. We
It
do.
wouldn't be the first time. I've usually more comfortable around women anyway. So
Oh, where'd I get my top? This is from, let me think, Amazon a couple years ago. I have two of them. I love Amazon stuff.
but their prices have started crawling up quite a bit.
Oh, yes.
I remember you used to go there because everything was so much cheaper. And now some things are like double the price of what you'd get in a store.
Almond milk or oat milk?
I prefer almond milk, but I'm not averse to oat milk. But I
I,
just got into the almond milk and I really enjoy it. So
I enjoy. I do like oat milk and lattes though. I feel like it's a little bit. I don't know why. I just enjoy them
like
a lot.
a little creamier maybe or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
milk is probably my favorite. That's the creamiest. It's so
Oh
good.
yeah.
It really is. Go do your laundry, Miss Judy. Thanks for coming.
Suzanne, I tried for a while in my Facebook group to share my recipes through the Healthy app, kind of like you can do with the WW app. But people were saying they were having all sorts of issues. It doesn't seem to work as well as they think that you should. But so I kind of gave up on that unless I've been having a few problems with the Healthy app lately. And I'll be in the middle of putting a recipe together and suddenly it shuts down.
Ugh.
So now I've gotten to where I put in a few ingredients, save it, put in a few ingredients, save it, because I don't know what's going on. I've mentioned it to them, but so far nothing.
Roy, do you drink coffee? If so, what do you put in it?
I do, and I usually do some skinny syrups or some sort of syrup. Sometimes I've done other ones like I did. I have like a short where I did my apple cinnamon coffee. Was it no apple caramel? And So on occasion I'll play around with it, but typically it's just a skinny syrup with some almond milk.
Can you just say again how much weight you lost? Somebody came in late and I couldn't remember.
128 point something or other, 0.4 maybe.
And what are you going to be for Halloween?
I don't think I'm going to be anything because I mean, I used to dress up all the time, but now I can't do makeup anymore unless I want to poke my eye out or have like squiggly lines all over my face. Um, so it would have to just be a costume. But like we did the collab last year for Halloween treats and stuff, so I dressed up for that. But I probably won't dress up as anything. I was going to try to get my grandson to come over and help him come up with a costume just so I could get that
Sure.
feeling of having a costume going again.
What's your favorite cheat food?
Hmm. It really depends. I am one of those types of people where it depends on my mood. Like I love cheesecake, so that would be great. But then there are other times when I'm in the mood for something else. I It drives Paul crazy because he'll want to order out, and he'll be, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. I have to look through the menu, and whatever strikes me, then that's what I get.
Yep.
He could get the same thing every single time and be fine. And he's like, you've ordered from this place 20 times before. And I was like, I know, but I have to feel it.
Yeah,
You
what do
know, I have to, that's got to be what I want.
I
So it
would
really depends. But cheesecake has always been a love of mine.
would you think non-dairy milk would make cream cheese?
Um, it would have to be through, I would think you'd have to use the yogurt, and it might. If you had a non dairy yogurt, you could try doing the same thing, putting it in the mesh so that it can drain out any, because basically all you really want to do is get rid of that excess liquid in there and add a little salt because that's what gives you more of a cream cheese flavor. Without that, it's just like yogurt, but really thick.
Yeah. All right. What is your favorite holiday dessert to make?
Well, I used to love baking all the time. I used to do every year for Christmas, I would always do this bundt cake wreath where I would like make a bundt cake, whatever flavor I was in the mood for, frost it, cover it with some coconut, usually just white coconut. I wouldn't color it, and then put little like bows and things on it. So that was what I used to do all the time. But again, it's all based on my mood. So, I might suddenly find something and be like, oh my God, I got to do this. And cranberry sauce. I love making cranberry sauce.
Do you ever feel like you pick something out, you're like, and then you go, why did I pick out this thing to make for something like a holiday? Like,
Yeah.
what was I thinking?
Yeah. All the time.
What is your favorite protein powder brand?
I like the Premier protein powder for a couple of reasons. I like the flavor, but also it seems to be much cheaper, at least so far, than a lot of the other ones. Like, I've gotten them from around $20 to $25, where some of the other ones are like $40 or $50. And I'm like, I'm on a fixed income. I can't justify spending
They're,
that much money.
they're expensive. And what if you don't like it? That's why I was saying that the other day. I'm like,
Right,
what like you spent all this money and you don't like it?
right. Because
Tough.
I've had some that have like a chalky feeling, and no, I can't.
Yes, I agree. Do you have a recipe for gingerbread cheesecake?
I don't, but I think I might have to work on that because that sounds delicious because I
Oh,
love gingerbread.
it does. I
I
love
do have gingerbread pancakes with a cream cheese syrup that goes on top of them, and those are so good.
oh,
But I
yeah.
might have to do a cheesecake. I'm going to add that to my list
It sounds
because
good.
two of my favorites.
Oh yeah, gingerbread's amazing. Well, welcome. It's okay. You're late. You can always watch the replay. We always
That's right.
play watch. We still benefit from that. The
Better
chat.
late than never.
But what kills me is that the chat never comes till like hours later. And it's
Yeah.
here now.
Right. I really don't understand that. Maybe they're filtering it to make sure nothing
Yeah.
inappropriate was said. I don't know, but
Favorite collagen mix? I do not.
I don't. I've never used any of that.
The coffee powder premier is amazing, Ellen
It
said.
is. I have some in my cabinet, and sometimes I'll make like an iced coffee in the afternoon, and I'll use some skinny syrup and throw a little bit of that cafe latte protein powder in there to just get a little more oomph.
Hey, Karen, he is a sweetheart. I'm glad you're all enjoying this. Hello. Oh, Joan has made an appearance. The old
Joan, I can't believe it.
appointed player. You in the bathtub? Are you?
Please tell me no.
Are you in the bathtub?
Oh, my shirt. This I got this at the when I went up to my tribe. It's from the Passamaquoddy days that when I went up, I did actually a live talking about it. Not a live, but a truck talk talking about when I went up to the reservation that I'm part of. And I hadn't been up there and I didn't realize it was probably 20 years at least. And so I finally got back up there. So it was nice. But that's where the shirt is from.
Awesome. I did we already ask you about your favorite holiday dessert? I feel like we just asked that.
Yes.
Whatever everybody's in the mood for.
Yeah, for the most part. Although, like, I do plan on trying because I have eggnog pancakes, but I want to try to do an eggnog magic pie. Like I said, I'm really on a kick with these magic pies.
I think
So I'm going to try working on
make
that.
different flavors. It's like
Yeah.
yes. Oh, welcome, Tamara. Could one of the wenches put up Joan's channel for me? One of my wenches. I abuse these girls, but they're such good workers. I knew Nora was on it. She's usually on it. Thank you. There's the pointed plate.
Maureen, I very seldom ever go to Starbucks. I did go because I met Judy there, if Judy's still here, and I got a
Correct.
pumpkin latte because anything pumpkin. But typically, I don't go to Starbucks. Part of it is their ordering thing just confuses me. Like this grande, I don't know what they're
All
asking
right.
me. Just say small, medium, large.
Yep.
It's just too confusing. So I prefer Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. Eggnog cheesecake, Roy.
I think I might have to look into the gingerbread cheesecake and an eggnog cheesecake. I definitely think those will be on the list for experimentation.
Oh, that sounds good. I think eggnog would make a really good cheesecake.
Oh yeah,
So
because I
would
mean,
gingerbread though.
all of the components are pretty much there.
Yep. And I know almond nog. They have that, which I do think is very pointy. The almond nog, which is shocking.
Well, yeah, I had some last year, and it wasn't as bad. I think it was 3 bites or something for a cup, a serving, or what have you. So it wasn't too bad. But you know me, I'm not going to go with the easy way out and use that.
I made my own almond nog. I think it was a cashew nog. I can't remember. I made my own eggnog, but I think I used almond or I think it was cashew milk because I was on my cashew milk kick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make my own. It actually wasn't bad. I put it in pancakes, made a lot of different things with it. So I
yeah,
think
yeah. I made eggnog. I think it was last year, maybe even the year. It's hard to believe that it's like 2.5 years I've been doing it now.
I know it really has. It's gone by fast. I feel like we were just forcing you into it. Come on, Roy.
I know it doesn't feel like it was that long ago we were coming up with the name.
Yep. God, this is like yesterday. Well, it feels like yesterday we were on lockdown, and that's been
Well,
3.
yeah, that's true too.
Jesus, it's just so fast. Skinny syrups make an eggnog flavor.
They do. I I didn't mind it, but it just wasn't eggnoggy enough, I guess. It was like it kind of gave you a mild flavor of it, but I didn't like all of their like their glazed donut. I did not like.
I didn't
I
like
don't
that.
know. I don't know what it was about it, but I just couldn't.
Yeah, I prefer Dunkin' over Starbucks. But I like matcha and, chai, and they're both mixes. They're
Right,
not pure, and that's what's ugh. All
right,
the sugar they put in it, so I'd rather just have it the powder, but they don't do it.
right.
Special bargain thing for Mondays. I don't know what you mean there, Mashburn. Do you have a healthy grit recipe?
I have never made grits, but
I've only
now
made
that I've done the pancakes, cornmeal pancakes, maybe that's something else I can look into working
polenta
on.
for us Italian girls. We're gonna look into that mochi. That's what we're gonna look into.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. That sounds
Do you ever
amazing.
scroll TikTok? I mean, it's like the things they come up with, you're like, "My gosh, it's so brilliant."
Apparently, Nita did not see your live with Kim because she's suggesting you do one.
Oh, yeah, last Sunday we did the Kim because I wanted to do her before surgery, because I knew she wouldn't be able to sit at one position too long, and I thought, "Let's just do it." We had a little bon voyage party. So if you look at last Sunday's, live, Nita, that was with Kim. Cheese grits. Cheese grits. Here's
See,
what you
I had grits like one time when I went to visit my aunt in Georgia, and that's about it. I don't really have.
They're very southern. If you go to any places down south, when you go to like diners or restaurants, it's always grits come with your eggs. Like there's no potatoes,
Right,
grits.
right. Yeah.
We did grits. My husband was big into grits. Just came home from Alabama. Had the most delicious grits. They were made with Gouda cheese and heavy cream. Oh yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah. But Gouda would be definitely it's a good melting cheese.
That was
Oh,
last special, Lori. Their specials change every month. There's no free coffee on Mondays anymore. They every month they give a special. If you get free coffee with your order, and I would bring him a freebie and look like great person because I like, oh, here's a coffee. It was free because I was getting a tea anyway. Grits was
and
served.
actually, now that I'm thinking of it, seeing this cheesy grits, I'm like, I think you could use those Laughing Cow wedges for a low point, low bite version. Mix that in. Okay, now I got another thing to add to my
If
list.
you would even put maybe some nutritional yeast as a backup
Oh
flavor,
yeah,
you could
yeah,
put a lot of that for very little points.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like. I mean, I had to be. I like grits with shrimp, like a shrimp and grits, like some grilled shrimp on grits. That's how I
Yeah,
like
see,
mine.
I'm not a seafood person, so
Yeah, so I don't like them for breakfast because I feel like soft eggs, soft grits doesn't jive for
right,
me. Like
right.
the potatoes. Ah, she wants to see you make it less points, Roy.
All right. Well, I've been challenged, so I will look at what I can do.
The gauntlet has been dropped.
It has.
I want nutritional yeast, but they're such a big package. Trader Joe's has a smaller package, Becky, of nutritional yeast. That's where I've gotten mine, and I keep it in a jar. If you don't use it, maybe keep it in the fridge or freezer. Might
Yeah.
She ate cheesy grits and egg every day for breakfast. I use the instant grits when I've made. I think it's 3 points a packet. Kim, is it 3 points a packet? My grits girl, she'll know. The Southern girls
Yeah, Marine, we have to stick together, us seafood dislikers.
do a cooking show. Oh my god, can you imagine we did this and we were cooking?
Oh my God. Yeah, if we were trying to show the other person something to do, so we're trying to do it simultaneously, I can't
That was a
imagine
great.
the
Oh
horror that would happen.
my god, this is hard enough reading. There's Kim.
Yeah,
Cheese.
well, that's why I was thinking if I did ever did a live cooking thing, I would have to have Paul like in the background reading things to me because there's no way I could manage to actually do something and keep up with
I've done
chat.
two of those. It's very difficult because, especially if it's busy, like
Right,
trying to cook, and you really have to pay attention to what you're doing because it's gonna burn.
right, right.
Drinking a pumpkin spice milkshake, that sounds good. I've been putting
All
pumpkin
right, I
spice.
did. I did because I'm a pumpkin spice lover. I did splurge and I actually tracked it. I got a small pumpkin spice Frosty from Wendy's.
They have
I,
that?
yes. And I'd heard people say horrible things. I loved it.
I have to try that one. How many
You
points was
do. I think it was like 17, but I managed to work it. Yeah, and that was
it?
for a small. But I worked it into my day, and
Peppermint recipes. I
I
don't like
do have a because Bree, my pal Bree, loves peppermint mocha. I
mm-hmm.
did make some peppermint mocha cupcakes one day. Those are on my channel, as well as I did a pumpkin mocha, like French toast bake with a syrup.
Oh, another taste tester is volunteering.
Now, see why you people need to be closer to me. Like Judy, I know now she can be a taste tester on occasion because we're close enough. But
How far were you from Judy?
I think it's about 45 minutes, but we ended up meeting halfway, so made it a little easier on both of us.
Roy, what is your favorite protein bar?
Um, I haven't really been eating many protein bars lately. Um,
I think you need to make one.
yeah, that might be worth trying.
Yeah. Make him do the work.
Oh, someone's saying Paul needs to get on screen now and say hello. I don't think it's going to happen. He's playing video games in the other room. Oh, thank you, Jan. Yeah, a lot of people kept saying, I love your kitchen from where I can see it. But I said, well, let me do a tour and show you all around.
Make a protein bar and sell it. I'm from the Buckeye State. How about a Buckeye flavored dessert other than candy?
I have considered, I mean, because it's basically peanut butter and chocolate. So I have considered actually making a Buckeye candy, but I'm sure there are ways to convert that into something else.
Well, we're gonna let's one more question because it's been a long time for Roy. I don't want to tax him too much. Anybody else has one more thing to say? You could send them all some love.
Anybody at all.
Well, we love you too. What part of MA are you in? I am in the Lake regions.
I'm
Oh,
in the lower middle part of the state, kind of not too far from Connecticut border. So kind of near Worcester area.
favorite grocery store?
Well, I love going to Stop and Shop by me. That's my favorite store because I think they have the best things. But Shaw's is closer, so they sometimes have better sales on their app. So I sometimes go there, but
Mm.
if I had my preference, I'd go to Stop and Shop.
We used to have a Stop and Shop here. They closed.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know in some areas it's also called Giant because I used to work for them. So,
So we had both at one time. How do you keep motivated? This last question.
um, honestly, I've talked about this in one of the truck talks. I think motivation's a myth because if you can't wait for something to get you going, you have to just push through and do it.
Yeah.
So, I don't I used to wait for motivation, and that was how I got to 307.
Yeah.
But I don't really rely on motivation anymore. Okay, I got to focus, got to do it, whether I feel like it or not.
Yeah. Well, make sure you tell Paul we all said hi.
I will.
All right, everybody, give Roy some love and thank you guys for coming. Don't forget to thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to follow all the channels that we listed. Roy's is still pinned up top if you have not followed him. We have Joan here. We had Sandy here. We have Maureen here. Did I miss anybody else? Danielle was here. I don't know if anybody shared Danielle's channel. Danielle Nicole. She was
Oh, I
here.
didn't even see that she was here.
Saw in the beginning. I meant to say hi, and but see, that's how my brain works. I saw it, and then it came to me like, "Oh, Danielle."
Oh, yeah. That's my brain constantly.
It's like I saw it and then it's there. I had to pick it
Yeah.
out. This was fun. I think the next guest is going to be Amy from the UK. Miss Amy is Human is going to come, and we'll get Sandy on here. We'll get Danielle on here. We'll get Wendy on here. Everybody's going to get a turn. Definitely, it's fun. It's fun. You get to
Yeah.
ask.
Definitely fun.
Definitely fun. So thank you all guys for coming. Roy, thank you so much for giving
Of
us
course. Anytime.
anytime. We'll do this again. Roy,
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, it went by fast.
Oh, yeah.
It was a
Very fast.
very fast. So thank you guys. It's been fun.
Bye, guys.
Great night. Bye bye. We had fun. We love you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching our videos. We can't do what we do without you watching.
That's
We
right.
will appreciate that.
That's right. Very much appreciate it.
It's hard doing what we do, and the fact that you guys watch and subscribe and comment and like and share helps us out. Us, we are the little channels that could.
Yep.
So, well, and we are here for you. You know what? Have a great night. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.